Welcome back, aliens. My name is Navin Reddy and let's continue with the series on JavaScript. In the earlier video, we have talked about if-else, right? So we have seen if-else and then we have seen if-else, if-else. Now in this video, let's go beyond if-else and let's talk about another way of checking for the conditions and assigning value. Okay, so what I'm saying is, let's say I have a different way. So this is our last example. Let's remove this and let's have a different scenario this time. So what we will do is I will find a number is even or odd. I guess that was your assignment question, right? Let's try that here. So let's say we have a number. You have to find if it's even or odd, and the result has to be stored in a variable and you can print it later. Okay, so what I'm saying is, let's say we have a variable which is num, and the value for num is 5, and we know 5 is an odd number. But then there's a way you can find that, right? There's a formula which you have to run. So normally in your brain you do that by default, but here also we have to run a formula, or you have to run a calculation to find. Okay, now if it is even, I will save that in a string called, let's say, result. So initial result will be undefined, of course, right? If you don't assign a value, it is undefined. So here, if you try to print result, it will be undefined. Okay, so based on the value of num, I want to assign is it even or odd. Now the way you can do that, we have done that before, right? So first of all, how do you find even odd number? So if you divide a number by 2 and if you get the remainder as 0, it's an even number. If you divide a number by 2 and if you get 1, it's an odd number. Now in this case, let's try that. So we'll say if, and we can write the statement in the if condition itself. So we'll say if num mod 2, that's how you do it, right? When you want to find a remainder, you say mod 2. And now you want to compare this with a number, 0 or 1. So I will start with 0, I will say equal to. So remember, we have to use 3 equal to's if you want to compare. So we'll say equal to 0. If that is the scenario, you will assign the value to result, right? So you will say result is equal to, and you will say even, right? So that's a string you want to assign to. But what if it is false? In this case, you will say else, and you will say result is equal to odd. So if it is true, you will say even. If it is false, you will say odd. That's the only thing you want to do, right? Now, once you have assigned the value, at the end, you can come back here and say log, and you can simply print result. That's the simplest thing you want to do. In fact, you can have returned the log inside if-else, but this is one of the way you can do it, right? Now, once you got your code, let's run this. So if you run this code, you can see we got odd. That makes sense, right? Because 5 is an odd number. But what if you get a number, let's say 8? Now in this case, it should print even. So this is working. Now if you want to achieve the same thing, there's a shortcut to it. So if you know that you just want to compare a condition, and based on that, you want to assign either even or odd. So not just for even or odd, but if any scenario where you have a condition and you have two options, either you can go with this or that. In that case, we can also use a ternary operator. This looks like this, question mark and colon. Okay, so how do we use this? So what I'm saying is, instead of using the entire stuff, so I don't want to use this, so I will use a comment. So using double slash, you can give a comment. Okay, so instead of using this, I just want to use a special operator or ternary operator, which you can call is question mark and a colon. Now, how do we use this? See, ultimately, I want to assign a value to a result, right? So if you look at this if-else, the idea is to assign even or odd to result. Okay, so I will do that. I will say result is equal to. Okay, so I want to assign either even or odd. So how do we define that? It is even or odd. So I want to assign result. It should be even or odd based on a condition. And you can assign the condition here. So you can put a question mark before it. And before the question mark, you have to assign your condition. So this is num mod 2 is equal to 0. That's it. So we are checking for the condition. If this is true, it will execute the block after this question mark. So this will be executed. If this is false, the condition is false, in that case, it will print the thing after the colon, which is the odd. Okay. And let's try. So you can see that how many lines we have saved. If I remove the entire comments. Okay, let me just use 7. And you can see we got odd. So you can see the code here. So we got a if-else which takes 4 lines, and you are doing that on 1 line. That's the power of a ternary operator. So that's it from this video. I hope you enjoyed. That's how ternary operator works. In the next video, we'll see something else. Till then, hit that like button and do subscribe for further videos. Bye-bye.